Hello guys, welcome to Code Studio. This is our fourth session in model deployment playlist where we will discuss about how to deploy machine learning model in AWS EC2 instance. You can check complete playlist of end-to-end project development by clicking on I button where we have discussed how to perform exploratory data analysis, how to build a models and how to set up a Flask project and build the UI HTML page to predict the values or results based on the input features. Okay. In this session, we specifically discuss about ML deployment in AWS EC2 Cloud. Okay, in this session, we also see how to install and configure the other resources such as Nginx Web Server, Gunicorn, and Supervisor, which supports to up and run the machine learning Flask application. Okay, so basically here is the architecture of this deployment, where client would be your browser or mobile devices. Okay, and the Nginx will act as a web server and reverse proxy. This means this Nginx will sit between your Flask application and the client and forward all the client requests to the Flask application. Okay. Gunicorn or Gunicorn stands for Green Unicorn. Okay, it is a Python web server gateway interface that is a WSGI HTTP server for a Unix. Okay, it will be used to forward the request from the Nginx server to the your Flask application. Now the supervisor. It is a client-server system, okay, that allows its user to monitor and control the number of processes on a Unix-like environment or operating system. Supervisor can handle auto-reloading the Gunicorn if it is crashes or if your server is rebooted unexpectedly. Okay, so basically we will follow this architecture to deploy our code into the cloud server. Basically, we following a list of tasks when we develop a ML project and deploy into the cloud server. Okay, the first 2 points, that is a create Flask project to train the model and the prediction, and the second one, that is a create web application for a prediction using a Flask. These 2 points already we have covered in our end-to-end project playlist. Okay, so you can click on the I button and check those videos. Now the third point, from where we start deployment, that is we have to create a virtual machine in the AWS EC2 instance. Okay, then once we create a virtual environment, then we need to deploy our ML code into the virtual machine server and then configure your Flask project and install all the required Python libraries. And finally, we need to install some of the resources like Nginx, Gunicorn, and the supervisor. Okay, to run our Flask application. Okay. Once we're done with the deployment, you will see this kind of the application where we can enter the employee input details and predict the employee retention of a particular organization. Okay, guys, yeah, here is the URL to access the Amazon cloud. Once you logged in Amazon cloud, okay, AWS cloud, it will be navigated to this page. Okay, now to create a virtual machine and server, okay, you need to access the service called EC2. Okay, so here is you have to search with this. Now you can go to the instances. This is my one of the existing instance. Okay, so recently I have created. So in this session we will try to see how to create a new instance. Okay, to create a new instance, just click on the launch instance. So for this session, actually I'll be using Ubuntu server. Okay, so I'll be selecting this. Now select the instance type. Okay, so I'll be selecting the free tier. Okay, with this configuration, 1 CPU, 1 GB RAM. Okay, now click on the next. You can leave this as is. Okay, now click on the add storage. So select this as default. Okay, 8 GB as our the size storage size. Leave this as is. Now configure your security group. Okay, in this section I'll add 2 more rules. Okay, that is HTTP and HTTPS. These 2 rules to be added if you want to allow your system to access through the internet. Okay, I mean whenever you try to access your application from the web browser, okay, these are the 2 protocols will get triggered. Okay, that's why we need to add these 2 protocols, and SSH will be used to connect the instance or server through the third-party tools like a putty or the WinSCP. Okay, now review and launch. Okay, you can go through all these. Okay, then finally click on launch. At this stage we need to create a the key pair and download the key, private key. Okay, basically this the private key file will allow us to access the SSH to connect the server through the third-party tools like putty or WinSCP. Okay, so what we will do, we will create a new pair. Okay, with the new pair name. Okay, so now click on download where and save this key file. Okay, it will be the extension will be PEM. Okay, then click on the launch instance. So now the instance is now launching. So you can see the instance. So view instance. So currently this is the the our new instance we just got created. Okay, currently it is initializing. Now you can assign the name to this instance. Okay, so your virtual machine instance got created. Now you can note down your public IP and your public DNS. Okay, also you can see the the username to access this VM instance. Okay, so just select this VM. Okay, then after connect, so you will get all these details to connect the SSH. Okay, so here is my user and this is my public domain. As this server is up and running, now we will connect this server and deploy our code and install all the required resources and libraries. Okay, so let us connect the WinSCP. So basically WinSCP will be used to transfer the file from our local system to the server. So in our case we have to deploy our code, right, the complete Flask project. So first of all we have to give the server IP, that is this. Okay, now our user is Ubuntu and there is no password. So now we have to connect the server, we have to upload our key which we downloaded from the Amazon cloud. To upload that private key we have to use advanced SSH authentication. Now this is the location. Okay, so basically the by default the WinSCP will try to access the private key in form in form of a .ppk format. Okay, whereas we have downloaded the file that is in .pem. Okay, so first thing we need to convert this to .ppk. So once you select this, okay, so just try to click on open. So it will ask you to convert this. So this is the message. Do you want to convert this OpenSSH private key to PuTTY format? So you need to click on OK to convert this into .pem to .ppk. Okay. So now it's just converted. So now you have to give the new file name. What I'll do, ppk. The extension will also get added as a .ppk. Okay. Just say this. Okay. So it's been converted and saved. Okay. So automatically it will pick the .ppk file. You can see like this. Okay. So now click on OK. Now click on login button. Okay, just ignore this. So this is my server. Okay, so now the right side panel is for server location. Okay, the left side panel is my local machine location. Okay, so I have to upload my code files to the server, right? So first of all I'll go, where is my code files in my local machine? Okay, so here is the file, okay, folder where I have my Flask project. So this home/Ubuntu is your home location for your server, that is Ubuntu server. So to deploy all this code, what we will do, we will create a one more folder inside this. Okay, with the name as end-to-end MLV1. Okay, and inside this folder we will upload all these required files. To upload into the our target server, okay, so we are not going to upload all these files. So basically we have to select few files, we have to exclude few files. Okay, so in my case I'll have to select the template file, the static, the as for file folder which consists of all the codes, and the data folder which have all those data file structures, logs. This virtual environment folder we are going to leave this because we will create this virtual environment at the server side explicitly. Okay, then main and the requirement. Okay, requirement.txt file. So select this or okay, just click on F5. Okay, then click on OK. Okay, so these files are getting transferred to the our virtual machine server. Now all code files are migrated to server location. To run this Flask application, we need to install all the required libraries. Also we need to install the Nginx web server and the Nginx and Supervisor resources. To install all those, we need to connect the PuTTY. Okay, so here is the icon. Just click on OK. So it just connected to server. Okay, now from here, okay, we can install all these required libraries. Okay, So first thing we have to install the Python 3. So for that we have a command like this. Okay, sudo apt install Python 3. Okay, just run this. So Python 3 is already in the newer version. Now install and update the pip3. Okay, that is a standard package manager for Python 3. We're done with the Python installation and its pip. Okay, now we have to install the Nginx web server and reverse proxy. Basically this will act as a mediator between client and then a Flask application, which will forward the request from the client to the Flask application. So to install the Nginx web server, so here is the command. So sudo apt-get install Nginx. Just click on yes. So the server is installed now. Okay, so now to check the status about your Nginx server, so here is the command. So basically it is active and running. Okay, as it is running now, we'll try to hit the URL and from the client browser, the web browser, and see how does it work. So here is my public IP. Copy this and hit this URL. Now you can see the there is a screen. Okay, it signifies that the Nginx is working fine. Okay, and this is the default index page. Okay, when you run the Nginx without configuring. To change this default page to our custom page, we need to do few configuration at the Nginx level. Okay, first step is remove the default page by deleting the default file. Okay, so basically in site enabled folder the default configuration is there, so that has to be removed. So there is the command to remove that. Okay, run this. Okay, now the next step is create a new configuration file in a site available folder and create the symbolic link to it. So we will create a new configuration file for our project. Okay, so run this command. Okay, now add this piece of code. Basically the Nginx will listen 80 port, and the server is our cloud host IP. Once we hit the URL from the browser, okay, so we are telling we're telling the Nginx system to, whenever you get the the slash just after this URL or domain, okay, and then it has to redirect to the proxy path, that is our Flask application. Okay, these two entries are to store the logs of Nginx. Okay, and this will be if hit the the domain slash, I mean the IP slash static, then it will directly redirect to this location where our static files like CSS, JavaScripts, or those files will be placed. Okay, so just copy this, right click. Okay, now to save this you have to use :wq. Okay, now we need to create a folder structure for this. Okay, so for access log and error log, so basically in home slash ubuntu slash the end-to-end ml, this is our folder. Okay, so here is this. Okay, inside this we have a folder called logs. Okay, inside this we need to create an Nginx log folder. Okay, for that we have to use a command like this. Now you can see, right, this folder got created. We are done with our configuration file. Now we have to create a symbolic link. Okay, that is a symlink. So basically create a symlink for this file. Okay, by running this command. So we are done with our configuration. Now we need to restart the Nginx web server. Okay, now let us try to hit the URL again. Okay, so now it is trying to redirect to our custom page. Okay, but it is giving another bad gateway error because our Flask application is not yet running. Okay, so we need to up that Flask application as well. To run the Flask application, before running the Flask application, we need to install we need to create a virtual environment and install all the required libraries, right? So we will do that first. Okay, to create a virtual environment we have to install the virtual environment library. Okay, so here is the command. We will create a virtual environment folder inside our application folder. So for that we are redirecting. Okay, we are changing the directory. So here is the command to create a virtual environment folder. Okay, this is a hidden folder, and then also we're redirecting to that folder location. To create a virtual environment, so basically this is the command. Okay, so it is completed. So the virtual environment is created. Now we have to activate the virtual environment. So for that we have to use a command called like source. Okay, under this folder. Okay, this is my virtual environment. Okay, and this is the command. Okay, so run this to activate the virtual environment. So now you can see the virtual environment got activated. Basically we have created a virtual environment to maintain the separate Python libraries for individual the applications. Okay, now as we have created a virtual environment, now we will install all the required libraries inside, okay, within this virtual environment. Okay, for that actually basically we have this requirement.txt which contains all those the libraries, right? So now those has to get installed. So for that we have to use a command like this. Okay, pip install. Okay, then this is the location of that the requirement.txt file. Run this. Okay, it takes some time to install all these required libraries. Okay, so we have installed all the required libraries. Now we have to run our Flask application. For that we will be using a Nginx. Okay, so Nginx is the stands for green unicorn. Okay, it's a basically Python web service gateway interface HTTP server for a Linux or Unix. It will be used to run the application and also forward the request received from the Nginx to the Flask application. Okay, so now we have to install the Nginx. So to install that we have to use a command called this. So pip3 install Nginx. Okay, okay, it's been now installed. As we have installed the Nginx, now we can run our application. So to run, okay, so first of all we have to so basically this is our Flask application, right? Means this has to get executed. For that what we need to do, first of all we have to check your current directory. Okay, it is what, so but we have to move to this directory, right? So yeah, now we can run that application. So to run that application we have to use a command like this. Okay, so basically Nginx, this is your module, and that module, this is your application, right? Okay, so it seems the scheduler started, it seems it's running now. So let us try to hit the web URL and see now it's working fine. Now it is redirecting to our custom page, right? Here is one problem we could see. Okay, let's suppose if I kill this session. Okay, the unicorn service will get stopped, and and because of that our program, our the service, our web page also will not work, because the unicorn service, the Flask application is not running. It means to run to activate the unicorn service, always we need to connect the putty, and we need to run the command like this. But this is not the usual practice, right? In production it has to run continuously. To control this service we basically use supervisor. Okay, so basically supervisor will allow us to monitor and control the number of process running in Unix like operating system. Basically the supervisor will look after unicorn processes. Okay, and make sure they restarted if anything goes wrong. Okay, so let us install the supervisor. Okay, first of all kill the session. Okay, so here is a command to install the supervisor. So supervisor is installed now. So now we have to create the configuration file for supervisor. Okay, for that we have to use a command called this vim. Okay, so this will be my the new configuration file, and inside this we need to feed this data. So basically this is the directory and this is the command basically. So my Nginx is installed inside this location, right? So now this is the command Nginx, and this will be the module, Flask module, and this is the application of Flask. Okay, and these are for to store the logs of the supervisor. So inside this logs, that is currently we have this location, so we will create this folder and these files. Okay, so let me configure by adding these configuration entries. Okay, now colon wq to save the file. Okay, so now configuration is done. Now we will create a one more the log folder. Okay, inside this for supervised resource. For that we need to use a command called first of all we have to create the directory, then after these files. Okay, you can see these now. Okay, it's been created. Now to enable the supervised configuration file, so run this following command. Okay, so we just restarted the supervisor. It means the supervised is running, and it will check the Guinea process, and it will try to execute the Guinea process. So as the supervised is running, so it means our Guinea process also must get executed. So let us see now. See, now it is working, right? So now I did not manually initialized or the run the Guinea con process. Okay. So minor change has to be done. So in index.html, okay. So basically earlier it was the local host was given. So now I just updated this with a slash, okay, prediction. So whenever you hit the request, okay, basically it will try to find this slash, okay, it will the redirect to the Flask application URL slash prediction file, okay. So let me save this and upload into the server. Okay, now restart the the Nginx server and your supervisor. Okay, now run this application again. Now enter these values. Okay, now you can see the predicted output. So it is running perfectly. That's all guys for today's session. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.